NCIS, Origins Episode 13 just proved this prequel might be even better than the original, with deeper character development, intense storytelling, and a fresh take on Gibbs' past. This episode delivers in ways NCIS never did. Is this the best the franchise has ever been? Let's dive in. Monsoon is another hard-hitting episode of NCIS, Origins Season 1. Mike Franks returns as the main character, however. This is essentially a continuation of Episode 11, Flight of Icarus. Viewers can see some of what occurred to Franks in Vietnam, as well as a significant portion of the burden that he and other veterans face. The episode does have some repeated problems, but they are much surpassed by the emotional effect of the plot. Monsoon follows the finding of a dead Vietnam veteran and the realization that he is one of several victims. Instead of conveying a traditional serial criminal scenario, the script focuses on Franks establishing a bond with the victim's closest friend. In addition, there is a heartbreaking undercurrent about how Franks first hears of the murder. Although there are still some issues with Origins, this episode has a lot going for it. NCIS, Origins Season 1 Episode 13, enhances the emotional impact of the prequel, surpassing the original. NCIS, Origins has had a run of episodes that don't simply tug at viewers' heartstrings but yank at them. Season 1, Episode 12, Touchstones, was a sorrowful story about Kowalski, while Flight of Icarus featured horrific recollections of Franks being drafted. Monsoon returns to Franks for a more powerful stomach hit. The episode depicts very little of Frank's time in Vietnam, instead focusing on his troubles as a civilian after he quits the service. His story is fairly similar to those of the other Vietnam soldiers highlighted in the case of the week. The episode delivers a striking point about how society should do more to support soldiers. While it focuses on Vietnam veterans, the message applies to all veterans. Origins distinguishes itself from its predecessor by offering considerably more emotional stories, which have a longer-lasting impact. The original NCIS had many touching episodes over the years, but they were never arranged in this order. And in general, that series makes a point of adding humor and keeping a lighter tone, unless the plot of the week is very dismal. Origins is more serious, and it's better for it, because the performers and characters are far better in dramatic scenes than in comedic ones. One only needs to look at Kyle Schmid's performance in this episode, which is devastating as Franks tries to assist Tom Molina while simultaneously maintaining his connection with Tish. All Frank wants to do is assist, but he can't save any of them. However, there is a brief subplot in which Gibbs decides to join a support group after considering it in Flight of Icarus. Whether it's him, Tom, or Franks, everyone has a different take on post-combat challenges and how they shouldn't be carried alone. Monsoon is less of a whodunit and more of a character exploration, allowing it to avoid some of the tropes that previous Origins episodes have battled with. The only thing that could have made it better would have been to provide information at the end of the program referring viewers to veteran support organizations, encouraging them to become engaged in something that is still a very serious issue. Monsoon also represents the climax that NCIS, Origins fans anticipated. Earlier in the season, Tish instructed Franks to stop chasing the man who assaulted her and leave the investigation to the FBI. However, Episode 13 reveals that he has done the exact opposite. He has staked out the laundromat where the suspect was last seen, staying there for hours on end, reading the case file and trying to catch him. It's an unbelievable level of dedication, and exactly what the viewer would expect from Franks, or even Gibbs, given his tragic backstory. But by going so far to help Tish, Franks ultimately loses her. She leaves him after he admits that he is still looking into her case. Origins emphasizes the anguish of Franks and Tish's split by presenting this pivotal moment in the same episode as viewers witness how they first met. Franks meets Tish while hitchhiking down the road with nothing but the clothes on his back, and she becomes a lifeline for him. It is explicitly stated in the show that she saved him. His intentions to apprehend the person who attacked her could not be more pure, but in fact, he ends up being quite selfish by ignoring her desires and lying to her about his location. Within the same story, the spectator sees Franks regain and then lose hope. Mike Franks to Molina, what we saw over there shouldn't be forgotten, even if nobody wants to hear it. In his encounters with Molina, Franks also acts as a proxy audience member. He wants to save the other man, just like the audience, and they share his anguish when he realizes Molina is the true killer. Molina had a war flashback and unintentionally attacked his companion. Franks communicates what the audience cannot. The question will be how far NCIS Origins delves into Franks' history, particularly his mental health. There have already been earlier Frank-centric episodes, but with Tish leaving and everything that comes with it, now is the time to go further into Frank and discover how he copes or doesn't with the loss. Will he continue working on Tish's case now that she's gone? Does he have any more luggage to unload? Monsoon affords Franks a lot of alternatives, some of which could push him into a downward spiral. Thank you for watching.